The wedding of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez was meant to be the biggest celebration of love, wealth, and legacy. Celebrities from all over the world flew in. It wasn't just a party, it made a bold statement. When you looked at that guest list, it was obvious who still had real influence. Oprah Winfrey had a front row seat. Beyoncé was there, of course. Even European royals showed up. But Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, not a single word, not even a polite invitation. And that's what has everyone whispering, not because of who came, but because of who didn't. For Meghan, this wasn't just any wedding she missed. This was the kind of event where just being there proves you're still important. Meghan had every reason to believe she belonged in that world. Remember, she gave Oprah that unforgettable royal interview. She opened up, shared everything, and took major risks. You'd think that kind of deep connection would count for something, right? But apparently it didn't. Oprah didn't just attend the wedding. She arrived in a designer gown, sat front and center, and made no mention of Meghan or Harry. No friendly Instagram post, not even a quiet, "wish you were here," just silence. And in this world, Oprah's silence is louder than any news headline. Meghan wasn't only left out, she was completely outshone, and she knows it. Sources say she's been making calls, trying to understand what went wrong. How could someone she trusted, maybe even saw as a mentor, show up to such a powerful event and not even consider inviting her? Meghan thought that once she left the palace and started her new life in America, she'd be welcomed with open arms by the same celebrities and power players she had looked up to. But now, the message is painfully clear. She's not in that circle. And Harry? He feels it too. He gave up his military titles, royal duties, and a lifetime of tradition for this life in California. A life that was supposed to offer freedom and big influence. But instead, he's being shut out by Hollywood, the British establishment, and now even billionaires like Bezos. The irony couldn't be more obvious. Harry left the one family that guaranteed him a place at the top, only to be blocked by the very crowd he thought would embrace him. And let's not act like this was a mistake. Jeff Bezos doesn't forget who he invites. That guest list was carefully picked, one power couple after another, people who make headlines and change industries. Oprah was invited, Meghan and Harry weren't, and that stings. It even changes the story people are telling, because if Oprah, the same woman who gave them a massive platform, isn't backing them anymore, then who is? This isn't just about friendships, it's about image and position. Oprah has always been strategic. She stays away from drama and focuses on building her legacy. She won't tie her name to people who can't control their public image. She knows when someone's star is fading. And right now, Meghan and Harry's light is dimming. Their Netflix deals didn't change the media world. Their Spotify podcast didn't make a big splash. Their royal image isn't exciting anymore. It's worn out. So when Oprah arrived in Venice, smiling and quiet, her message was clear. She's moved on. And the rest of Hollywood? They're not far behind. Meghan used to think telling her side of the story would be enough. She believed that if people understood the racism, the rejection, and the pain of royal life, they'd see her differently. And for a while, that worked. Her Oprah interview was huge. Everyone was talking about it. The royal family was shaken. Brands were lining up. Public support poured in. But sympathy doesn't last forever, especially not in elite circles. In those rooms, it's not about who you used to be, it's about what power you hold now. Meghan and Harry don't seem powerful anymore. They look messy. A bunch of half-finished projects, awkward appearances, and public complaints have worn down the goodwill they once had. Hollywood's seen this before, famous people who think being visible means they're still relevant. But in reality, projects get canceled, shows flop, and the spotlight moves on fast. Meghan built her brand on being a bold and relatable royal, but that charm is fading faster than she expected. Meanwhile, Oprah is still on top. She only speaks when it matters. She only shows up when it counts. And when she does, people notice. That's why her presence at Bezos' wedding hit so hard. It wasn't just about being invited, it was about the energy she brought. Oprah looked stunning, confident, and surrounded by people who actually make moves, not noise. Her quiet distance from Meghan and Harry said more than any press release ever could. Jeff Bezos didn't want drama at his wedding. He wanted people who fit into his future, people who matter now, not ones who were trending before. His wedding wasn't just personal, it was a display of power. The guests weren't just famous, they had real influence. Oprah understands that. That's why she had a front row seat. That's why Meghan wasn't even a thought. This wasn't just a snub, it was a big shift. The top people in entertainment and business are showing what they value now: stability, long-term success, and real results, not drama, controversy, or a constant story of being the victim. Meghan and Harry's brand was all about breaking the mold, but if you keep shaking things up without growing, it gets old. People stop caring, especially when every new thing looks like an attempt to get back the attention they lost. And Harry? He seems lost in all of this. Meghan has always been the planner. She shaped their new life in America. But without a strong plan, Harry has become a symbol of what happens when you trade centuries of power for a Hollywood dream and end up with neither. He's not loved, he's not hated, he's just there. And in the world of influence, being invisible is the worst thing that can happen. Some insiders say Meghan still believes she can bounce back. Maybe with a new project, a new angle, something to remind the world why she once mattered. But the people they want to impress don't wait for comebacks. They keep moving. They don't cling to old stories or headlines. They care about presence. And right now, Meghan and Harry are missing in all the ways that count. There's a hard lesson here. Fame fades fast. One day, you're the center of attention, and the next, you're a warning story. Meghan wanted to be seen as strong, independent, and modern. But real power doesn't beg to be included. It doesn't chase invites. It gets them without asking. Oprah knows that. Bezos knows that. And now, more and more people at the top are showing they know who really belongs. Meghan and Harry's absence from that wedding wasn't just a slip. It was a clear sign of how the power players now see them. The couple who once shook the world with their royal exit are now being looked at with much more doubt. Their story hasn't changed, but people's interest in it has. And in a world driven by momentum, standing still means falling behind. Oprah showing up, looking amazing, surrounded by industry leaders, and saying nothing about the couple she once supported? That was a masterclass in how to send a message. No tweets, no vague comments, no photos together, just a calm, clear step away from the drama. That's what real power looks like. It doesn't scream. It just is. Meghan and Harry are starting to realize, maybe too late, that being talked about isn't the same as being accepted. You can be in every headline and still not get invited. You can start global debates and still be left out. Because at the top, where billionaires and real decision-makers live, the big question isn't, are you famous? It's, can I trust you with my name? And right now, the answer seems to be no. Hollywood may be flashy, but it remembers. Every bit of drama with the royal family, the fallout with Spotify, the rocky Netflix deals, the constant media presence, it all adds up. At the top, people don't just listen to what you say, they watch how others treat you. And the answer lately? Quietly stepping back. Bezos' guest list showed who really has influence today. People who build, who lead, who bring steadiness and meaning. The glamour wasn't random, it was carefully chosen. And in that careful pick, Meghan and Harry didn't make the cut. Not because they don't matter anymore, but because they've become too unpredictable. And unpredictability makes the rich and powerful nervous. Meghan's team might try to spin this, maybe with another documentary, a bold new project, or some big media move. But spin only works if people are still watching. And more, it feels like everyone's moved on. The interest is fading. The mystery is gone. What's left are two people who made their move and are now sitting at a table that's dealt them out. Harry's situation is different. It's quieter. He left a world based on loyalty and duty and entered one built on appearances. In this new world, being royal doesn't mean you're respected. It has to be earned. And the hardest truth? There's no way back. The bridge to the royal family is gone. Now, he and Meghan have to prove their worth in places that don't care about their titles. The message from Oprah, Bezos, and everyone else at that fancy wedding? Clear as day. Influence isn't handed out. It's earned again and again. It takes being smart, steady, and able to grow without pushing people away. Meghan and Harry chose the spotlight, but the more they revealed, the less special they seemed. In trying to tell everything, they lost the one thing that keeps you powerful in elite circles: mystery. And now, as the cameras go dark and the buzz dies down, the big question isn't what they'll do next. It's whether anyone's still watching.